Here comes the magician. He's going to break off in frame number 1. Man from Yorkshire. Cue ball. Well, fantastic break, but loss of cue ball. You feel that Sutton is going to need quite a bit of this. Can tell you've got 2 tables this evening for these quarterfinals. On table 2 will be Giuseppe D'Imperio versus Andy Barnett of Australia. And then later this evening, the next match on this table will be Tom Cousins versus Jordan Shepherd. And on table 2 will be Rona McCarthy and Declan Brennan in an all Welsh and all Northern Ireland affairs. Those are to come later. Well, Sutton's gone straight into break those yellows apart, but he's not landed in the greatest position he could land.
Yes, Barn. Come on, Barney. Let's go, Barney.
Well, Karl Sutton having to play the yellow down the bottom. Lovely pot. It's very important for Karl Sutton to get in here early. Has to get the confidence up. Another good pot there from Karl Sutton. Just a little bit tricky there where the 2 yellows are by the top left-hand corner. Just seeing where he wants to come in on it. He might even just choose to play this a load of left-hand side. Come into yellow and red at the same time. Try and split these 2 open. He's decided against it. What he can do is play the yellow nearest the pocket, loads right hand side, it comes off that side cushion, bumps into the red just above the yellow, frees that ball, and as you can see, the 8 ball is clearly available in the right hand centre pocket. And this would be fantastic for Karl Sutton to get this off Melling's break. Just a little delay here. Not quite sure why the clock has stopped. He's waiting for Andy Barnett on table 2 was just in Karl Sutton's way, so he had a little time out there while Andy Barnett negotiated his shot. These tables reasonably close together, but not massively, but now and again there will be a little bit of one player in the way, a little bit, just whoever's there first gets right of way. Sutton played that perfectly. Now I think what he'll do is screw straight in to the right hand cushion. Bring that cue ball out for the black, so he won't play this particularly soft. Nice firm shot here. Played beautifully by Karl Sutton. And down goes the black. And Karl Sutton takes advantage of Chris Melling's in off the break.
Chris Melling versus Karl Sutton. Massive, massive game, this one. And with both of the quarterfinals been on at the moment, both from the same side of the draw, I think these two would only be human if they looked at each other and looked at table 2 and didn't think, what a chance to get myself into a world final. Because admittedly, the roadblock that's in front of them, Chris for Karl and Karl for Chris, is pretty mega, but the two players on the other side of the table would both be big underdogs coming into a semi-final with either of these two.
Yeah, and consider the semi-final, it goes up another frame. It's first to 10. You know, and I think the longer the distance, the more that Melling or Sutton would be favourite.
Yeah, it just increases that sort of meritocratic feel, doesn't it? The longer the race, the less that luck and chance, in theory, can define a match. So that means your level of quality has to be consistent over a long period of time. Oh, what a gap Chris has hit there. He's looking for the red below the yellow by the right centre pocket to bottom right. This is the sort of frame that I love to watch Chris play, because this finish doesn't really look on when he came to the table. But he's going to go, and he's looking at 2 gaps to hit here. He's hit 1, and he's looking for the second gap in between the 2 yellows, just left of centre in the middle of the table. Red wobbles in. I'm not sure he's got that gap, so he was looking at it before. Maybe he elected to go another way. He has got the red to the top of the table. May have decided he was just off angle too much to go down the table enough to play that red to left centre.
Just looking at his position here, I'm not sure, but I think he wants to get the cue ball back over to the right-hand rail. He wants to put the red at the top, and he wants to get on that red that's stuck to the yellow. So he's digging down with left-hand side. And that's exactly what he's played for. That's a great shot if it goes long further enough. A little bit further would have been nicer, but if he could have got on that straight, he just wanted to pot that roll through towards the black spot, and he had the 3 reds available.
Yeah, he's got a shot to play here. And as I say, this is where we really see the best of Chris Melling, when he's picking apart a finish like this that's so difficult.
Well, I think the only pot this red that's stuck to the yellow, screw the cue ball back off that side rail and out into the middle of the table, and he could play it. It's not a very easy plant, but there is a plant with the 2 reds into the bottom left-hand corner.
Oh, how good is that? How good is that? Goodness me. Is it safe to say Chris Melling has turned up in the mood in this world quarter-final? What a shot that is.
Yeah, didn't see that one coming. I don't think he's landed on anything.
Well, he might.
Can he get...
He wanted to snick the red into the left centre, I'm almost certain. I don't think he can see the potting side of it.
Can he get down to the middle red?
He can.
Kick into the yellow? Oh, he didn't want that. Been unlucky.
He has, but he's too deep into it now. He will keep on digging.
If the red can go into the top right-hand corner, you can see Chris playing this firm cut down the rail. Cue ball twice across and back over.
I think it has to be twice across. You can see where he's lining his cue up there. That red will go top right, and then he can screw back for the 8-ball top left. But I mean, this is high tariff.
All of it has been so far. Well, I'll tell you what, I call these confidence killers. You go and do this to your opponent when they're sat in a chair. They've just won the first frame, and then you come out and pull some stupid finish like this out.
Once again, he still has a shot to play. He doesn't love it because he's worried that he's going into the 8-ball off this. Oh, how well's he judged it. I don't think he can quite believe that it's happened.
Wow. He thought he was going in off, didn't he, as well? He thought he'd missed the pot.
Well, that was razor thin. He's going to knock the 8-ball in here.
What a ridiculous finish.
That's a crazy finish. That was never ever on. That was special from Chris Melling. And what a way to get his account on the board in this match. I don't think he can quite believe it himself. Here's that penultimate shot again. Watch the cue ball.
Just the pace of that red just helped it into the pocket, because I think if it had been any harder, it would have jawed. Well, it's 1-1 here, and on table 2 it is also 1-1 between Giuseppe D'Imperio and Andy Barnett of Australia. If you wanted to go over there and have a little look at that, you will be greeted by Simon Webb, who's describing all the action there. So you're in good hands wherever you are tonight. Another look at Melling's break. Well, he didn't make the cue ball this time, but it's dry, and you see Chris put his bottom lip out. Not happy. And just look at the yellows. Well, this finish will be a lot easier than Chris Melling's.
I genuinely think the amount of players that would have gone for that finish from the get-go, as Chris did, is probably limited to like a handful. And the amount of players who could get them might well be limited to just Chris Melling. That was a silly
You're
out.
looking at, like you say, the players that are going to go for that finish. There's probably 4 players, Chris Melling and 3 lunatics. Because it's only Chris Melling gets that finish. Nobody else in their right mind would go for that. But he's got such great creativity and vision and imagination, and that's what you have to have. You have to have a really vivid imagination to conjure up these shots. That's why he's called the magician.
I've thought it for a long time. I mean, Chris is a uniquely special player. The way that he sees the game, but it's not the way, it's the speed as well. I think you can make a case that other players have seen the game as well as Chris. He's always in that GOATs conversation with the likes of, you know, your 𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗄, Mick Hills. I'll throw Tom Cousins' name in the hat as well. And they all see the game amazingly well. Just to an elite level. They see the patterns better than anybody else, etc, etc. No one sees it quicker though than Chris. The speed that he does it is remarkable.
What makes him unique, and I'm going to put, I don't like to chuck people in it, let's just say in a little basket, but Hill, Potts and probably Tom don't go for that finish, or don't go that way. They don't see it. It's not because they're not great players, they're fantastic players. But you look at Tom, it's a very big break, and it's a relentless finishing, his perfection of positioning, which is what makes him so great. Chris is a maverick. Simple as that. He's got his own way that he goes, and it's always easy on the eye.
That was pretty solid though too from Karl Sutton. A much more routine finish. And so far Karl leads the way. We've had 3 finishes off the break. And once those games are over, we have 2 fabulous quarterfinals for you. You can take your pick. We'll watch Jordan Shepherd versus Tom Cousins right here, or on table 2 it'll be Declan Brennan versus Ronan McCarthy. You really couldn't wish for a better pair of quarterfinals than those 2, for so many different reasons.
Sutton playing up for the plant now, down into the bottom left-hand corner. The black does go into bottom corner, the two yellows both go into each corner, so Karl wants to play this plant, but he certainly wants to just make sure he doesn't push the second yellow behind the red, so he wants to play this straight, but just keep the line of the second yellow. He's done just that. It's a good shot from Karl Sutton.
He's played that beautifully. He's played that really, really well. Yeah, make sure your shirt's tucked in for this one. No mistakes. Now then, this is where the finish gets interesting. Does he have full sight of that 8-ball? Tony Holgate's giving me the thumbs up. Looks really tight, but
I think as long as he's right behind it, he can just dribble it off the jaw.
And he's in perfect position to be right behind it. These three shots, in theory, if that red isn't there, for example, are dot to dot. You just don't move the cue ball. There's one.
Perfect. What he'll do now, stop the cue ball dead. Just stop it dead, and he's got just a drop into the corner pocket. You can just rub it off the jaw nice and gently.
Yeah, flies in. Never in doubt. Didn't even have to dribble it in, he just punched it home. It was actually a little bit more routine than we thought. It's a hot day here in Blackpool, you can tell there. Karl's not just a very small man with a bottle of water, that is a litre. He's not messing about. That'll do it. Balls go cascading down the pockets.
Like a number 7 bus. It all comes at once, doesn't it? See Marion Jude there in the crowd behind. Unfortunately, her was beaten today in the Women's World Championships. Obviously last year's world champion. Not to be this year though for Marion.
Yeah, not to be. A really tough loss to Lee Davies, who was excellent. Marion was...
Well, that in off the black shadow, really
incredibly unlucky. Yeah.
Cue ball hitting that yellow and coming across the table. And then she did have a chance on the last frame and missed her second to last ball. All credit to 𝗪𝗁𝗏. Hung in there and got the job done. And she'll feature in tomorrow's semi-finals.
Well, 𝗪𝗁𝗏 will take on 𝗪𝗏𝗡, and the other semi-final is Tasneem Solomons of South Africa. It's Barbara Taylor, the England captain. Clever shot there from Chris. I like how he's just held on the 8-ball there just to keep himself on the yellow to right centre. At some point he will have a shot to play, and he's landed pretty perfect here. So he's got full sight of this yellow to bottom right, and he's going to screw all the way back for the final yellow. It's nice.
You'll see a little bit of Billy Whiz on this cue ball now from Chris as he fires it back up the table. Oh, he's hung it.
No way.
Well, didn't expect that. And he's also left Karl on the double into the left-hand centre should he choose to play it. Caught it near jaw.
It's just a pace that's kept it up, really, because we've seen many a ball fall in on that line You know, we can argue about the rights and wrongs of whether it should or it shouldn't until we go blue in the face, really, but it's just the pace that's kept that one up for Chris. He was in perfect shape for the yellow and 8 ball, so the first mistake of the quarter-final is on the left-hand side of the arena. Chris Melling back in his chair, and Karl Sutton with the opportunity to counter clear. He's going to turn down the double. I think he's going to back himself to land on it. He's going to take away these 2 reds on the left first, and he's got the red to right centre, which does connect nicely. Well, in fact, he's going to do that now. So red to right centre. Trust yourself to land on the red to top right, and then come down for the final red. His only issue is the 8 ball only goes to the left-hand side of the table, or the right centre if you land below it that way. Just has to mind his work. Having said that, I think that yellow is so far in the pocket, probably wouldn't be a very difficult combination shot if he had to, but he won't want to leave himself that from this position. A shot to play then.
Well, he's going to play the one up the rail now into that top right-hand corner. If he can get the cue ball sort of around the blue spot area, he can then cut the red into the bottom left-hand corner, use the cushion on the left, bring the cue ball back and have the black in the same pocket. The only other way is to play this firmer and come past the red and then screw it in, but I think it'll just settle for around the blue spot. That's perfect.
Looks really confident, doesn't he, Karl? Very assured.
I tell you, over on table 2, nothing to separate 𝗍𝗫𝗍𝗫 𝗫𝗫𝗍𝗫 and Andy Barnett. They're 2-2. But this, black for 4-1 for Karl Sutton. You have to say, a bit of a turn up for the books. Chris Melling would have been the favourite for this match. But Karl Sutton, well, Karl's not missing a thing.
Yeah, and important to remember that whilst Chris will have started this match as the favourite, I wouldn't suggest it would be a massive surprise if Karl won this quarter-final. Super player in his own right, an ultimate pool champion, consistent performer, and he always shows up this time of year. He always plays to a high level.
Stunning break there from Karl Sutton. So we have another look. Chris Melling unmoved in his seat. Going to be another great opportunity for Sutton.
Doubles in play.
Perfect position once again for Sutton. Not missed a ball. And this is just incredible. The balls are there, nothing really today. He's actually just spoiled for choice. And this to go 5-1. All because Melling missed one yellow. He's had a dry break and a in off the break, but Karl has punished everything.
Yeah, it can sometimes be as simple as getting the opportunities. Karl's had more of that, there's no doubt. But my, he is taking them. It's been flawless so far from Karl. I can't even think of a moment where he's been out of position, let alone look close to making a mistake.
Extremely high on confidence, Karl Sutton. Just got that spring in his step as well.
Yeah, it's as assured and as confident as I've seen him in a little while. Very, very good.
Well, incredibly, this for 5-1, Karl Sutton. Never looked in doubt.
And if this was on the Ultimate Pool Pro Series in the races to sevens, you might be starting to write the Melling obituary here.
Nearly sat on Karl Sutton's lap there, playing his break shot.
And that is a booming break off from Chris Melling. Can't hit them much better than that.
Well, he's not had a break and finish yet in this quarter-final.
Which is crazy, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Well, he's going to need a few of them, I think, to get back in this match, that's for sure.
Yeah, at the top level, it's like holding serve.
Lovely positional shot there from Melling, getting up onto that yellow top of the table. Has got an awful lot of room to get onto the yellow that's next to the black, that's for sure.
Barely any room. And he will try and play for that gap, I'm almost certain of it. But what do you play after it? I think it's got to be last ball, but the risk of doing that is big. I just wonder if he can land him behind it here, maybe target the 8 ball. Oh, how good is this, Tony? How good is this?
That's a ridiculously good positional shot. Incredible shot there from Melling. What's more, you're having to do this at 5-1 down, it's so hard. Brilliant finish.
Fabulous from Chris Melling. Just the margin for error on that shot was tiny.
That's fantastic.
Karl's break has been so reliable for him in this match, and what a split he's left here. Another great chance for Karl Sutton.
Balls in play.
Just a quick update on table 2. 𝗪𝗫𝗃𝗍 𝗫 is 4-2 in front against Andy Barnett. Of course, you can go over and have a look at that, but why would you when we've got such a great match over here? Well, you want to come back a bit further there, did Karl Sutton. First time he's not been in complete A1 position.
Work to be done here then for Karl. Just not sure what Karl can do from here. It's such a bad position for him.
Yeah, the first little mistake from Karl. Nothing else really he can do. Try and develop the red and try and leave Chris nothing, but we all know Chris and leaving him nothing. What you think is nothing
very seldom seems to be.
Yeah. You can conjure up all sorts of chances from absolutely nowhere.
Well, he has a pot on. He can clip the yellow back into the left middle if he so chooses. And that's exactly what he's done.
Second time that Chris has had the cue ball cleaned this evening. On table 2, I can tell you that 𝗪𝗫𝗃𝗍 𝗫 is now 5-2 up against Andy Barnett. He's going well there, the man from England.
Extension called.
So here we go, Chris Melling going to try and move out this awkward yellow. Quite wisely, Chris Melling calling an extension. He doesn't want to hit this on the buzzer.
Well, I think he waited there. I think it was the buzzer from the other table, so he just waited for that sort of sound effect and everything to just fade away so he could concentrate. And great decision. Look at the shot that he's played. Chris has played to such a level. Karl has as well, make no mistake. But I just feel like the way Chris is playing, the only thing that's going to deny him is the lack of chances. He's playing to such a brilliant level. 5-3 stays in the game. The first sign maybe, of a little bit of nerves from Karl Sutton in that frame with that mistake.
No,
As Chris Melling breaks off at 5-3 down.
𝗪𝗫𝗍 also has put out the world champion earlier today, 𝗘𝘃𝗲𝗿. Melling goes dry, and like you said, J-Mo, lack of chances, and this is it. The dry, that second dry break, he's been an off one break. The break has not been Chris Melling's friend. Given the chances, he'll take him out.
You can see there the frustration writ large all over the Melling features. Karl with a chance to restore that 3-frame lead. Brilliant shot from Karl. Next shot could be tough though. I'm not sure he's on much. The yellow to top left is there, but all three of the yellows in the bottom half of the table I don't think he's got access to. So whilst that was a good shot, it's landed a touch awkward. Bit of a reroute coming here. Oh, he's tried to cheat the pocket. That's no good. Chris Melling gets the table in frame 9. That's all because Karl was so worried about finishing on the top rail and having no angle. He had to have an angle to come down the table. And you can see where the cue ball has ended up. If he'd have potted that yellow, the cue ball is pretty much straight on the yellow to the at the top of the table. It's no good to him. Just try to be a bit cute. That was delicate. These reds aren't particularly nice, but I think Chris is still going to go.
Well, yeah, the yellow that's covering the red at the top left-hand side of the table, if you look further down the table, there's a red that's near the middle. That goes off the cushion, off that yellow into that top left-hand corner, and it will free that pocket up. It's all how Chris can get to that ball. He's a bit straight on this, and that's why he's a bit disappointed. The only other option, he could play a double with that red that's over there and try and spin the cue ball up to the top of the table and bring out that red.
I think he has to play this red now.
Yeah, he's nearly going to play. He's going to have to play this and then the one downstairs next. No, he's going to go, but he's going to play the double, I think.
I think he has to now.
Yeah, he's come too far up to not to play it. But he's left himself a wider angle. So this is there. Look at where he's going to play this cue ball. Side rail, bottom rail, and kick the red towards the middle back where the cue ball is. Doesn't have to play it hard. If he gets the angle right, he'll land on that red anyway.
Big shot to play here. Mighty big shot. Well, well, well. The first frame of the match where both players get an opportunity and both players stumble. Karl Sutton is let off and now has to punish the Chris Melling mistake. Feels harsh calling that a mistake, but
well, it's a missed pot, J-Mo, at the end of the day. You don't expect Melling to miss them. 𝗍𝗏𝗵𝗵 there in the background, Surinder Singh just behind him, Barbara Taylor just behind him. Barbara's still in the ladies Singles, of course, should be in action tomorrow.
Yeah, semi-final assignment for Babs. As Tasneem Solomon's in the final 4. To keep running, and it has.
Just drop this in, really. Nothing to do with the white. If you want to get a little bit closer, just put a tiny bit of right hand side on and just spin it down a little bit. But you want to have a little angle to get back out.
Yeah, anything but straight on this final yellow. But to be honest, even if he is straight, not the end of the world. It's very nice.
Very bravely, I thought, played that shot. Yes, this is nicer, but if things can go wrong, he went through that gap, but that's a very confident shot. As Chris Melling looks on with nothing he can do now. He's got the nice little angle now, so it's just a straight pot. Follow the cue ball through into the side rail. And he'll have choice of pocket, top left or the middle.
Very, very tidy.
Going to be top left with that. You wouldn't want to be playing the middle of the cue ball going into that red. If you flick that thin and wetting off, you wouldn't be very pleased with yourself. So I think nothing to do with the cue ball. Just stop the white dead. One positive pot, black top, left hand corner. And this for an incredible 6-3 lead. It's been a good watch.
Well, he has cut it and he's overcut it. Can you believe it?
I can't believe he's not took it in the corner. I really can't. You look at that. It's well.
That's amazing.
But he's very close to going in off the flicking off the red. It was the cue was always flicking off the red. Don't understand. I do not understand there. Why has it just dug deep and banged that in that top left-hand corner? What's Chris done? I bet Chris cannot believe it.
No, he'll definitely be surprised if that was no mistake. But what Chris Melling will also be is smelling blood a little bit. That's such a big mistake for Karl to put in.
Huge.
And Chris will be so keen to punish him. It's a hallmark of all the elite players. They may every now and then give you a chance. They very, very rarely give you 2. You've got to put them away when you get the chance.
I think this could hurt Karl. I know he's still in front. But Chris Melling, that's going to give him a lot of heart. And I think Chris, when you said he smells blood, I think he does. I think he senses now that Karl's
officially at the halfway point. Just past it, I should say. Massive break for Karl. Would have been very sort of fitting, you feel, for that break to run dry, having made such a big error on the 8 ball in the last frame. But it's a big break, and now a massive visit to the table. If he can just take this finish out, reset himself, there's still a quarter-final to be won here for him. But you do fear for him if he breaks down here. It's just got that sort of weight to it, this frame. And of course, it's tricky. It's a long way from easy, this one.
I can tell you, 𝗔hiś 𝗱𝗆𝗄 did take out that finish. He now leads Andy Barnett 7 frames to 3 on table 2. He's just 2 away from a place in the semi-final, and he would play the winner of this should he get through. And Karl Sutton very keen to get these yellows in and move one step closer to being that player. Wiped his feet there, that yellow.
Three balls away from restoring a two-frame lead. Perfect. And you have to say, fair play, Karl Sutton. This has been a clearance full of bottle.
Looks very determined.
Chris Melling continues to play chase, continues to be the hunter. In, off he goes. Karl Sutton can go two from home here.
Well, Chris's break has just been his Achilles heel tonight so far.
And he knows that's on him, that'll be painful. Dry breaks are just unlucky, but that one straight into the centre pocket, he will know that's just a mistake.
Reds are in a wonderful position as well.
There's a little bit of work here. But in truth, this is a finish that's mainly just about just holding yourself together. It's all there.
Well, I can tell you on table two, 𝗪𝗫𝗄𝗃 is now on the hill. He's 8-3 up against Andy Barnett of Australia. Playing incredibly well over there.
I think just overhearing a couple of size words there as well on commentary, it sounds like 𝗪𝗫𝗄𝗃 has played really, really well.
One thing we do know, JMO, there's going to be an Englishman in the final.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Unless Andy Barnett comes back from 8-3 down, of course.
Yeah, if G goes over the line there will definitely be an Englishman in the final. But there can only be one. There's quarter-final 3 is an all-Northern Irish affair, and quarter-final 4 is an all-Welsh affair. At least technically.
Indeed. There can only be one. Wasn't that the tagline from Highlander, the film?
Feels like it, yeah.
And that's for me as well. Nobody's seen that, but before I go off on a tangent talking a load of cobblers, Karl Sutton in perfect position here. Looking to stick another one on the board.
It's another brilliant visit from Karl, you have to say. Looked a couple of frames ago, he made two big mistakes with a breakdown and then a missed 8-ball after Chris had given him the chance. And you really felt like that would be a massive swing moment in the match. Oh, wow. Wow!
Well, that cue ball was going in until the ball came and stopped it, and
That's incredible, isn't it?
that feels like a bit of destiny. Look at that. That's incredible.
Oh, I mean, that is amazing.
Well, he can cut that yellow into that top corner. I think he wanted to bump that yellow off the rail there, just at the top. He's come down kissing that red. If he sat on the yellow at the bottom of the table, he's been a little bit fortuitous, I think. Probably for the second time in this frame. And that looks pretty good. Great chance here to get on the hill against Chris Melling.
It's a great shot, and Karl Sutton is going on the hill against Chris Melling. For large periods of this match, Chris Melling has been shut out of it.
Well, my word. Dry again from Melling. You can't believe it.
Tough, isn't it? It is really tough.
The balls are all there for Karl Sutton to reach the semi-final. He's going to take the reds. He wants rid of that red that's right in the centre of the bottom rail next.
It's hold yourself together time for Karl Sutton. The semi-final awaits. And he stumbles. Chris Melling is still a long way behind him. But he is not done just yet. A reminder, we have 5 frames potentially still to play in this match. Chris Melling needs to win all 5 of them. That sounds unlikely. That is because it is. But he has to start somewhere. And it's starting right here. Yellows are in a good position in the middle of the table. The ones on the left, though, are going to need some work. There's probably a case for not going here, but it's just about trying to find out how to do that. Well, trying to predict Chris Melling is one of the most difficult things to do. Such a mercurial talent, but how do you get out from here on yellows?
Well, what he's going to do, he's going to try and play the double back into the right hand centre. Cue ball, kick the yellow down the rail, knock in Karl Sutton's red over the back. How's that for a little combo shot?
Well, it's absolutely magnificent. There is your answer. What a shot from Chris Melling to pull that out at 8-4 down, back to the wall. That is brilliant. It may still yet not be enough, but all comebacks have to start somewhere. Magic from Melling to pull this shot out at 8-4 down in a race to 9 in a World Championship quarter-final is something very, very special indeed.
Well, it's incredible. Fantastic shot there from Melling. And Sutton had that chance, didn't he, to win.
Now then, if I know anything about pool gods, there's no way this break is successful. No way. Karl Sutton has pleased somebody up there because he has another chance to win this match. He has broke brilliantly, to be fair to him. I'm not trying to take anything away from Karl. It just has been, we just see it so many times. How often does a bad mistake turn into 2 frames gone because the next frame's dry? We see it so often. Both times that's happened for Karl in this match. His break has withstood that question. He's broken brilliantly.
Well, this is Sutton's second chance to win this quarter-final. He's got a bit of an angle on this red into the corner.
Yeah, there's options, isn't there?
He's going to go through that little gap. He'd have been absolutely delighted just to stay in between those 2 yellows and have that red available into the left-hand centre, but he's come up a tad too far. But not all is lost for Karl Sutton. He's still on a ball. He's certainly still on 2 balls, but I think my suggestion would be to play the red that's in the centre of the 3, top left-hand corner, try and guide the cue ball into the red that's just to the right of it, take out those 2, and he could get himself a long red into the bottom right-hand corner. Well, don't like that shot. I think I'm cutting the ball now into the centre pocket and getting on the one at the top next.
Oh, it's nervy, isn't it? It is unquestionably nervy.
Should try and cut this in, kick into the yellow next to the red. Not that yellow. That's second prize though. Can he pop that into the centre? He's going to kick into yellow, but he can send the yellow into the red, and it would push it towards that right hand corner. He's just having a look at that now. If it catches it half ball, the red goes towards the corner, the yellow goes away in the other direction, and he will be on the red. We know the black goes into that right hand centre.
Massive shot. Just like that.
That's good. He'll take that because he's got a nice angle to come around the back of that yellow all the way to the bottom of the table. Don't leave yourself short. You can afford to go too far with this. You can even come all the way down to the bottom rail and come off the bottom rail.
Yeah.
You will have a shot.
Nothing for short here.
Even if you went narrow, the black goes off the yellow into the middle.
Oh, it wiped its feet, but it's there. And Karl Sutton has this 8-ball for a World Championships semi-final. Just interrupted by a bit of crowd noise from the other table. Karl Sutton steadies himself. This for 9-5 and the semi-final. He's done it. Karl Sutton has eliminated Chris Melling and goes through to the World Championship semi-finals. A fantastic performance from Karl, who will be so pleased to get over the line against a really high quality opponent, a high quality match that.